everybody. This is Maritess Allen. I bring you fun, fortune, and Feng Shui.
Hi, Ms. Marites.
Just being uniquely yourself, being comfortable.
All the past experiences made me stronger. It made me more open-minded.
Our message was, be who you are, find your purpose, and work with it.
Oh, yan. Wow. See?
You sent me.
I knew stage was my place.
As long as you have that happiness in your heart, I think you'll be considered successful, right? And you'll do well.
It's not just about luck, fun, fortune, and feng shui. It's really about a way of living.
At the end of the day, what matters is love.
Do what your passion is.
You have to be like the representative of what you do. You represent makeup, you represent beauty. You have to be beautiful to start with.
The engineering capability of the Philippines is a little bit more advanced.
Because feminism means so many different things to so many people.
Really perseverance, hard work pa rin in finding success.
The Philippines was voted and awarded as world's leading dive destination for 2 years in a row.
Parang kontento na ako kung ano yung meron ako ngayon. Tapos kung ano yung mga dapat.
So brand is more about who you are. It's okay if we fail the first time, second time, third time, because there will always be a successful time for us.
I was happy but never fulfilled. I was always lacking direction.
I think really like a person's superpower comes from inside, like kindness, gentleness.
Kung talagang mahal mo ang karir mo at gusto mong matupad yung mga dream mo sa buhay, ay pag-aaralan mo talaga yan. You be serious in your career, be professional.
But with me, when I cook, I use my heart and my sense of smell and my eyesight. For me, that's more important.
70s, 80s, 90s, that's probably 3 decades of amazing music.
I don't work. I just enjoy.
I love it. I choose to be deaf to doubt.
I want to smile, so I lift my face naturally.
It's so much more important if I'm able to impact a life.
Exactly.
Rather than the applause.
Confidence ignites individuals to act and make a difference.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fun, Fortune, and Feng Shui. And today, mga kaibigan, I am so excited because all the way from the Queen City of the South, my other home, Cebu City, is where our dearest guest is going to come from. And of course, again, welcome to those our viewers. Good morning there in New York. Good afternoon here in London. And good evening there, Philippines. And today, mga kaibigan, my very special guest is, of course, a very dear friend of our dear friend, Dexter Alasa. So, Dex, thank you so much for bringing in to our show Miss Fiona Lideza. Mga kaibigan, Fiona is a very, very young entrepreneur. She's so beautiful. 27 years old pa lang yan, but with a rags to riches story. In fact, she is currently managing a business process outsourcing company in the Philippines as the chief operating officer. So mga kaibigan, these are actually the ones, mabuhay to sila. They're bringing so much support and funding to the government. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na a lot of people call it the call center. So Fiona has a very, very successful call center business company there in the Philippines. So to know more about this very special lady who happens to be a former beauty queen, and she really is a role model to hair purse, even, to the present time. So I am so excited to welcome Miss Fiona Lideza into the Maritess Allen Show. Hello, Fiona. Welcome.
Hi, Miss Marites. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, thank you. Maayong hapon from Cebu and sorry, from London, and maayong gabi diha sa Cebu.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me in your show. I heard a lot of great things about you, of course, from Dexter. So I'm really excited to have this chance to talk to you more.
Thank you so much. Well, Dexter, like what I said, is our guardian angel. So, Dexter, thank you so much for bringing Fiona. Fiona, oh my God, you are so beautiful. I adore you. And off cam, mga kaibigan, off cam, I was telling Fiona, oh my God, I am as if I'm your mother because you're the same age as my son. You have
Yeah,
done so well.
that's true. Yes, I'm 27 years old.
Oh my God. And yet you are very, very successful. So, Fiona, before we begin our, kumustahan, I'd like to welcome, of course, our dearest Dexter. We have Teresita Rodrigo Arapira. Thank you. Good evening. And please, indicate which country you are watching us from. And of course, talagang totoo yan, Dex. Talagang mga women of wonder ang nandito lang po sa Fan Fortune and Feng Shui natin. Glor, thank you for watching. Miss Beverly, Angela, Naomi, Maggie, yan, si Miss Maggie talagang suking-suki natin yan. So, we'll call in later others. So, Fiona, to those who doesn't know you much, tell us about the business that you are in right now.
Sure. So I'm actually in the business process outsourcing world. So as you mentioned earlier, Marites, we provide outsourced labor for companies all over the world. So it's actually a lot of different type of jobs, but primarily revolving around back office solutions. So if you consider like international companies, our target demographic right now is primarily the United States. So majority of our employees are doing back office work. So, administrative, we have graphic designers, tech support. So it's not just the typical call center work where, they're on the phone, talking to customers. It's not just that. So we have very high level employees, in fact, who can run circles around, really smart people from the US and other countries.
Oh my God, I need you. I need you. So do you cater to other countries apart from the United States?
Yes, absolutely. We also have clients in Europe, where you are from, in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have clients in Australia and some parts in Asia as well.
Wow. So mga kaibigan, imagine that is Fiona, my God, providing international support to international market. Oh my God, that is so amazing. Hats off ako sa'yo. So, Fiona, tell us about your journey. When you talk about, say, humble beginnings, who is Fiona before the virtual assistance business?
All right, so that's a very deep question because I do have a very, I would say, not really chaotic, but it's a very varied background. So I did actually start, I'm the second daughter of a young businessman here in Cebu. So I was born and raised in Cebu, and my whole life, I've always seen my dad struggle in his small business. So I guess my principles in business and the foundation really started back when I was really young. As far as the struggles that I've had, I wouldn't necessarily say that we were privileged when I was young, but we were able to experience some good things in life when I was probably in grade school. And then for a certain time, nag-bankrupt, which is, kind of a typical story in Philippine culture. My dad's business went bankrupt. So there was a time that we actually had to move to Mindanao. So for 4 years, yes, I lived there. And that's when I really faced like real poverty. To a point, Marites, I was telling Dexter this earlier. We were chit-chatting about my background, and I talked a little bit about, my experiences when I was in grade school all the way to high school, all the struggles that I had to experience that motivated me to also come up with an advocacy later on in life. And that really has to do with experiencing, when I was in grade school, every time wala ng pera yung mom or dad ko to give us allowance to go to school, there were times that, using just 1 peso, I would go to the carinderia, you know what it's like here in the Philippines, and I will just buy broth that I can use with my rice para may flavor yung rice. So it was that experience. And then there were times as well when I had to walk to school, going back and forth because we only had like 10 pesos, 15 pesos allowance every day, and you have to kind of squeeze it in kasi kasali na dun yung budget for projects and assignments. So it was really tough. It was really difficult. And then for some time there, we had to do everything ourselves. So our parents would ask us to help around. So even at the age of, I would say 12, 13 years old, I experienced all sorts of different things already. I was helping my dad in his business. I was already, if you know yung mga jeepneys, I was helping him spray paint the jeepney.
Wow.
Yeah, so those were the kind of things that I experienced early on, which really shaped me to become the person that I am. And then after that, I guess because of all the things that I learned, it made me want to persevere even more. Because of what I experienced, I told myself, I can't settle for less. I can't live like this forever. And so that really started the journey of me wanting to do more. And so by the age of 18, which as you know, that's the legal age in the Philippines to start working, automatically without my parents knowing, hindi nila alam, I went to apply for one of the biggest call centers in the Philippines. And during my first interview, I was already hired. My parents didn't know. I was still studying at the time at San Jose. And of course, my parents were wondering why I'm not asking for money anymore. So yun na yun. I was trying to balance it off. I was working and at the same time studying. And I was already starting to earn money. So
you're
from
a
there,
working student then. You were a working student.
for a short period of time, I was. And then after my stint in the call center world, it was really challenging. I know there's a lot of people saying na, like people in the call center world is underestimated. People say, oh, it's so easy. Sa call center lang yung nagtatrabaho. There's like that stigma about it. But in truth, it's really, really difficult to get a job in the call center world. It's very stressful. It's very high pressure. The level of training that you put you through is really something that can make you become a very good professional later on. So it's really something that, I want people to also see that it's not what we think of it. It's actually more. And we should in fact look up to our call center agents and people who work in the BPO industry because they help a lot with the economy as well.
Yes,
So,
that's right. I agree. Wow.
And then from there, after working in the call center, I decided to do virtual assistance. So ironically, now I'm offering virtual assistants to other businesses, but back in the day, I was also a virtual assistant myself. So for 2 years, I worked with multiple different clients all around the world. It was crazy. I had like 5 clients at a time. And that's when I learned so many different skill sets. And then after that, I got hired by an Australian company. Long story short, that became the pivotal moment of my career because it was my stepping stone when I started to really understand my potential. So I became a sales director for that BPO company. And I was sent to Australia. In fact, you have my videos and photos.
Wow.
Yeah, so I talked in front of hundreds of entrepreneurs. I was only 22 years old, I think, 21, 22 at the time. And I spoke in front of entrepreneurs, giving them advice on how to, use outsourcing as a strategy to grow their business.
That's right. And Fiona, I'd love to play that video because I think, mga kaibigan, it's only about 2 to 3 minutes of video clip, but we will learn a lot from it. So guys, let's play the video because what Fiona was saying there, is really very important, especially if you're a company who needed virtual office support like myself. So, it's very, very important. So, guys, let's watch this video of Fiona when she was giving a presentation in Australia. I admire you. Wow, you were only 22 then. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Amazing. Um, I think they're trying to load it. So while we are waiting, of course, thank you, sabi ni Sherry Main. Amazing daw, of course. Thank you, Jam. Sabi ni Joey, relate much. I am an ex-account specialist here. Oh, sabi naman ni Goldie, how to apply? Ayon.
Yeah. Feel free to just check out our page, Staff Virtual Careers. You can
Ayon,
just
staff virtual career. Okay. So mga kaibigan, let's watch this clip from Fiona's presentation in Australia. Hey, she was only 22 years old then. Who can pull it off? Amazing.
You're right.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Good. Great energy in the room. I'm excited and a little bit scared, actually. All right. Okay. So right now, you've already heard a lot about how to recruit a VA. You've heard a lot of testimonies from Roz, Cody. You heard from Marty Wilson, which is one of our clients. So now I'm going to talk to you about how to manage your virtual staff or how to manage your remote employee. But before I jump into that, I just want to ask, who among you here have a staff in Australia? Everybody. Who among you here have experienced outsourcing and have had difficulty managing and retaining their staff? Wow, there's quite a few people. So what I'm going to discuss to you guys today is how to actually manage your remote staff and how to make it work. And we're going to start with the onboarding process. All right, so onboarding 101. The first step here, once you already hired your virtual assistant, is to give them a warm welcome. So just like what Cody said earlier, what Allison said earlier, just because they're working remotely and because they're digital doesn't mean that they're not part of your team. So one of the critical things when you start recruiting, when you have somebody on board, is to actually make them feel welcome. So last year when I was at the Business Blueprint Conference, I actually spoke to one of the members, and I was so glad to hear because he came up to me and he said, "Hey Fiona, I'm ecstatic. I actually hired a VA now, and I sent a care package for him." And you can just imagine the face of the VA when first day at work, there was a gift for him. So simple things like that. It doesn't have to be a material thing, even a greeting or introducing this person to your team here in Australia can have a very huge impact to your staff.
Wow. So imagine so first is onboarding. What I like with that, Fiona, is you really you provide that empowerment to a person. So even the person is not okay. I'm just looking at it in the shoes of an employer, and you hired a virtual assistant, and then you made them feel as if the importance of that particular person during the onboarding process is really important. Is that something that is like the usual strategy, or it's like the creation that Fiona has created?
It's definitely something that I push for a company to have consistently. I really believe in valuing each and every person in your company. Because, I started as a virtual assistant. I started as just a call center agent. And then I was able to achieve my full potential because somebody believed in me. So in the same context, now that I'm in position, now that I'm an executive, I want to give the same opportunity to every single employee that we have in the company and even other people outside of our organization. I believe that there's someone out there who's a diamond in the rough that's just looking to get an opportunity. And so it's important for us. It doesn't matter what that person's background is. It doesn't matter kung mayaman or if they're poor or whatever. there is something special about each one of us. And if we
Mm.
can share that and have mutual benefits for each other, then that's really good. Create a win-win-win situation for everybody.
Wow, nice mga kaibigan. Talagang you just keep going, right? So any obstacle that come your way, you just like brush it off and then you just move on, which is a
Exactly.
very great attitude to have. Now, was there a game plan that you made long before achieving your dreams and goals in life? Like what you said when you were like growing up, when you moved to Mindanao, and you have this. I can relate so much because I remember that when I was growing up as well in Cebu, and I said every time I took the jeepney then, I would be sitting at the back part of the jeepney with all the alikabok, rain or shine and everything. And I promised to myself, I said, one day I will never have to ride in this jeepney again because I will have my own air conditioned car and somebody's gonna driving for me. So, all those things. I mean, like what you said, when you were eating with a broth, just so magkakaroon ng lasa yung rice mo. I
Yeah.
mean, no, I'm telling you, I was growing up like, the banana is to be eaten with the rice. And to be honest with you, I sort of even adapted that even yung mga snacks natin na minsan, ay, nagugutom ako sa gabi, that I can just see like a leftover rice in a banana, I would make it as a meal.
That's
So
true.
maybe
That's
because
true.
that was our childhood. So what about you, when you have that like the game plan, when did this kick into you? Like how old were you? That even before you said, okay, one day this is my dream and I'm gonna get that goal, however it takes.
That's a very good question. I think for me, it started really, I was really, really young when it started, when I had that aha moment that I'm not gonna settle for less. So I think the most striking moment for me, and I'm gonna share a little bit of personal experience because this is really something that comes from my heart. I would say, when we were kids, in our group of family, I would say sa brothers and sisters ng dad ko, we're like the most underprivileged. Like all of our cousins are a bit more privileged than us. And what we notice is that every time na may ipapagawa sa bahay, it's always us. It has to be us. And all that while, like, I thought, this is so unfair. How come it has to be us? Like, we have to do all the chores, but all my other cousins who are more privileged than us, they don't have to do it. So, that was one of the things that pushed me. And I told myself, one day, I won't have to do this anymore. One day, I can be my own boss. I don't need to, just follow what people tell me to do. I can be my own boss. I can inspire other people. And I can hire my own help to do all those chores. I don't have to do that.
And now you have several hundreds of them. Amazing.
Exactly.
Wow, wow, thank you. Fiona, we have mga kaibigan, if you have questions with Fiona, how did she get there? Any tips from her, please do so. Can we get the link again po? Sorry, nag-buffer. Ano daw yung link ng virtual assistant? Can we flash it in? I think it's a virtual assistant. Your Facebook, Fiona, or your...
Yeah, called Staff Virtual Careers.
Sige. We're gonna flash it in a bit, mga kaibigan. We're watching it in. Of course, we have Arish. I think she's watching from Winnipeg, that is in Canada. Thank you. And then, sabi ni Goldie, how many employees you have? Very inspiring.
Yes, right now we actually have about 500 employees.
Oh my gosh, 500.
Yes, so we're also rapidly expanding. So we actually pivoted from handling small businesses to larger corporations. So we're starting to deal with tech companies from Silicon Valley. So in fact, next year I'm going to the United States for a sales tour. So I'm going to be traveling from state to state to meet a lot of different executives in their boardrooms. So wish me luck.
Oh my God, you're gonna do great. My God, at 27 with 500 employees, oh my God, that is super duper amazing. And thank you. You are really, you're a proud of our country. You're a pride of our country. And can you imagine providing 500 jobs to 500 people or more? and they go back home, they feed their families. So you have to multiply that, and not only that, you also help the economy, those people buying, the necessity that they have. So I have very, very high respect for you, Fiona. Thank you so much. So mga kaibigan, don't forget that staff virtual careers. Yan po yung link. And I suppose, Fiona, you're always accepting CVs and applications, right? Anywhere in the Philippines.
Always, yes, always. We don't have any shortage of I know we were always hiring. Like there's not a day that we don't have any requirements. So please go ahead and apply.
Wow. Okay. So anyone can apply even though they're staying at home, because this is a perfect time.
Yes.
Yeah, right, to do some
exactly.
work. And ayun, sabi nga ni Sandra, sige mag-apply na tayo, Sandra, ha? Sandra, Joey, yan, side income natin, di ba? Just do. I know of somebody, an executive, in fact. You know what he does? Because I was so surprised. I mean, he even here in London. Sabi ko sa kanya, oh hi, your car is so beautiful. Like, is this yours? Sabi niya, yeah. And then he was like wearing his executive suit. And then I thought, sometimes you can just say that, who the person is, but say, hey, this is I just like drive around, for 3 hours a day after my office work. And then, it adds to the income of the family. So, mga kaibigan, wala na pong arte-arte ngayon. Anything that can be done, do it. Sabi ni Glor, so true, kudos to all who work in the BPO. I was a previous client, a specific trainer, a bilingual Spanish rep. Inspiring story, empowering Miss Fiona and Miss Allen. Yan. Talaga naman. Ang galing. Sige, if you have questions, mga kaibigan, sabihin niyo lang po yan because, exciting. Exciting to ating guest today. So the game plan, mga kaibigan ni Fiona, is she just really pushed for it, She know what she wants and she gets there. Was there a time that you say, how did you started from being 500 now to hiring your very first one? Was there like somewhere along the way na, oh my God, hindi ko ito kaya. This is too much for me. I do not want the stress that comes with it. I was telling you in 1998, my husband and I went in Clark to look at the business of BPO for AOL.com. At that time, my husband and I was ready to invest in. And when I was looking at everything, like the business plan, the study, he said, I cannot do it with all the stress that comes with it, the demands, the control. So how did you get from 1 to 500?
I think I'd like to focus. I'd like to focus more on the journey from getting from 100 to 500 employees, because that's one of the most challenging hurdles of the business. So, getting from 1 to 100, you can just get a good client, a loyal client, and you can grow from 0 to 100. But getting from 100 and going to the next steps is one of the biggest hurdles in growing a company and a business. And I guess that's where I came in. So to tell you a bit of background, Marites, I actually started my career in a different BPO company. So I was with an Australian company. And then I joined Staff Virtual about 3.5 years ago. And so when I joined, the company had around 100 employees only. And fast forward to this day, we have about 500 employees. So when it comes to getting there, I guess, there's so many things that I had to explore. My background personally is from sales. So I used to be a sales director. I started my career as well as a sales director. When I came into the company, I was exposed to different areas of the business. And that's how I eventually became an executive. So I was promoted because I was able to touch different points of the business. Now, one of the most challenging things to growing a company is learning how to let go of things that you are used to. So when you're in business kasi, like you might get to a point where you feel comfortable. So when we were at 100 employees, we were too comfortable with our client demographic. So we were a bit conservative with our marketing strategy. We were just focusing on all the inbound leads. And so when the time came that we assessed the business and we thought, okay, we're ready for the next stage, because a lot of venture capital companies are already starting to look into our business, and they want to invest or they want to buy out the company. And if you want to do a big exit later on in the future, then it's important for us to have a good valuation. We need to be a bigger company for that. And so in order for us to get there, we had to change our business strategy. Instead of looking at it by offering employees to just smaller businesses, we decided to take on much more challenging accounts. So that was like one of the pivotal moments of the business, is when we realized that, okay, it's time that we be brave. It's time that we go to bigger boardrooms and attack bigger companies. And in fact, I'm really proud to say that we're now starting to penetrate Silicon Valley, as I mentioned earlier, and we closed a company that I just wouldn't mention the name, but it's a $9 billion company in the United States. Yeah, so
oh my God.
That, and that's going to be our strategy moving forward in order for us to provide more consistent jobs to people here in the Philippines, of course. To expand our business further, we want to focus on larger companies with large and long contract value, so we can offer consistency and security, job security for the employees as well.
Wow, that's nice. So tell me again. So virtual staffer would mean they do not need to physically go to your business and call centers, but they can be hired even at their homes, or they have to be physically present.
So before the pandemic, we were operating 100% at the office. So when the pandemic happened, it was actually a game changer for us, and in a positive way. In fact, a lot of our company's growth was attributed during that period. So it really brought a lot of opportunity for us. It's all about being adaptable enough and making sure that you're flexible, that you're able to adapt to the times. And at that moment, when we realized that, oh my God, there's probably going to be a lockdown, as early as a week before President Duterte announced the lockdown, our company was already operating, working from home, 100%. So we were very swift with our action. We didn't want operations to be disrupted, because we know that if operations is disrupted, not only will our employees' livelihoods be affected, our clients' businesses will too. And we didn't want that to happen. So we made sure that we were adaptable. We made that happen a week before the actual national lockdown in the Philippines.
Wow, what an attitude. You see, mga kaibigan, that's being proactive. That's what Fiona is. No wonder you are where you are today at a very young age, because your determination, your foresight is just amazing. So mga kaibigan, write down your comments or questions if you have with Fiona, if you want to know some tips from her. In the meantime, we will go for a very short break. And this is your October 2021 forecast. So, my friends, we will be right back in a few minutes. Ayan, welcome back. Welcome back mga kaibigan. Welcome back Fiona. Thank you for your earlier very inspiring story. We learn. We really, really learn from you. My gosh, it's amazing. When you said that um, trying to focus on the achievements rather than what happened in the past is also a very admirable attitude, because some people, it drains them down, right? So when you remember what happens in between, mga kaibigan, hindi naman lahat ano yan, it's not like a very easy thing to achieve. There's so much effort, so much energy. So question, do you work from Monday to Sunday, being the CEO, or there's no, you are like a 24/7 on call?
Well, as an executive, as a COO of the company, I do work Mondays to Fridays. I have a lot of other business ventures that I'm starting, so I spend a bit of my time after I clock out from my executive role. And at the same time, I really value work-life balance, and that's something that I also impart with our employees. It's good to work hard. It's important that you spend a lot of time to achieve your dreams, but at the same time, I also really believe in work-life balance. Spend time for your family, spend time for yourself, spend time for love, money, and happiness.
Yeah, that's nice. So I suppose you exercise, right? With your beauty queen figure and everything. Do you have a regimen, like exercise regimen every day, Pilates, yoga, in a week's time? What are your days to
Mhm. I
to
do
prep yourself?
yoga. Yes,
Okay.
I do yoga like twice a week. I used to do it more frequently back when I wasn't a mom yet. So I had more time for myself. Of course, I was a bit more vain. So I was doing it not just for health reasons, of course, and especially when I was into pageantry. So I had to really stay fit. So I was doing it
Yeah.
more frequently. I had a crazy routine back when I was doing pageantry. I go to the gym, I did CrossFit 6
Uh-huh.
days in a week. And I did it
Wow.
for like an hour and a half each
Oh
time.
my gosh.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Elaine, grabe. How old is your baby?
He's 2 years old.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. Oh my God. Are you gonna add more, you think?
I'm
Baby
planning,
girl?
yes. Probably in the next year or two. Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well,
Hopefully.
I look forward to meeting your lovely family. So you just mentioned that you were a beauty queen, and tell us about why didn't you pursue joining more national pageants, because you have everything that is like necessary and required. Your beauty, your wit, your charisma, your
Uh-huh.
talent. You're very personable. When was this that shifted you from doing major national pageants to say, okay, this is it. I am going for the corporate world.
Okay, so I really did plan all my life, Marites. I planned to join national pageants. So, when I was a little girl, I always had this, I really thought that in order for you to get acceptance from society, you need to be part of the beauty standards of the Philippines. And I wanted to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I grew up looking very Pinay as I am. I had dark skin. I was, the flat nose, very Filipino. So when I was a little kid, I've always been insecure of how I looked. I really thought, oh my God, I'm so ugly. I need to be whiter. I need to be fairer.
Really? Wow.
Yes, it took me such a long time until I was a very, very late bloomer. Oh my God. If I showed
Wow.
you photos of myself back when, I was in grade school, I was unrecognizable. I was just the geek. I was never considered the pretty one. I was always the smart one, which is good. But all my life, because the world of pageantry is very glamorous in the Philippines, I really thought that in order for me to feel accomplished, I need to be a beauty queen. I didn't think
Oh.
of anything else. Like for me, achievement na. If I get a title, if I get a crown, I'm going to feel happy. And so I decided to join one local pageant here in Cebu. And luckily I won. And when I got the crown, I had to say that it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be. I guess I was fulfilled on a very superficial level. It was more of acceptance by society. But in the same context, I realized that that's not I didn't want to limit my identity and who I am with just having a crown. I have so much more in my heart. I have so much more ambition. I want to impact so many more people, and if I just use the stage as a platform, I'm just going to be limited with that avenue. I'm just going to be limited with what that platform represents. And so I wanted to stray away from that and become my own person. And I realized that by becoming an executive, by going to the executive world, I will have bigger opportunities. So many other doors will open for me.
Exactly.
I can inspire people. More importantly, I can inspire people in a lot more ways than just being a beauty queen. So that's the reason why I decided, okay, I really wanted to do it, but I felt that if I go to the business direction, I will not only become financially stable, it will allow me to get that financial sustainability that will then enable me to share those blessings and extend it forward to other people as well.
Wow, fabulous talaga naman. Talaga namang pang international yung ating guest today. That is so inspiring, Fiona. So, do you feel that luck plays a big part in what you have achieved in life? And what is your mantra if you having gained all that you aspire for?
100%, Marites. I definitely believe in luck. First and foremost, I believe in the birth lottery. This is something that
Oh, really? Wow.
yes, my husband and I talk about this all the time. It's up to you to be. It's up to you to work hard. It's up to you to be able to get past challenges. But when it comes to where we start in life, it's not something that we can determine. We don't know where we're going to be born. We don't know what type of family we're going to be born in, what type of culture. If you're born in America, automatically you win the birth lottery. You already have all the privileges of an American citizen, right? Which is why exactly a lot of Filipinos want to attain that visa.
Yeah.
So from the very moment that we're born, absolutely, I believe it's a matter of luck. It's not something that we can control. But I also believe that it's up to you what you do with that luck that then comes afterward. If you know how to take advantage of that opportunity, if you know how to get the best out of every situation, then for sure you're going to flourish and win in life.
Yes. Wow. Bravo. Thank you. Totoo talaga yun, mga kaibigan. It is what you make out of yourself, out of your life. I love the way you said about the birth lottery. So, mga kaibigan, talagang may swerte. Maniwala kayo sa swerte. I have here Miss Charmaine. Hi daw to baby Charles, Miss Fiona.
Yes, hi. She's actually one of our employees.
Oh, hi, Charmaine. Thank you. Jessie here. Hi from Cebu City. What are the qualifications that virtual staff needs and how to apply?
Okay, so we don't discriminate at all. So even if you're just a high school level, you didn't graduate in college, it doesn't matter as long as you have the right skills. So you can just go ahead and check all the different listings we have. Obviously, it varies as well because certain roles will require very specific experiences. But for the most part and in general, we don't really have very strict qualifications.
Yeah, so that's virtual staff, no? Virtual staff careers.
Staff virtual careers.
Staff virtual careers. Yan. So, sabi naman dito ni Miss Carl, hi Miss Fiona, congratulations, very inspiring story. How do you handle adversity or rejection back when you are just starting? How do you focus and discipline your habits?
That's a very, very good question. I feel like I'm in a beauty pageant. It takes me back to those moments when I'm standing in front of judges. But yeah, so when it comes to facing adversities, I always just tell myself that this will pass. That's always been my mantra. Like since every time there's challenges that come my way, I always think, I'll sleep on it. it's gonna pass.
Yeah.
One day I'm just gonna laugh at it. So even all those very big problems that I've had, because my life hasn't been easy. I may seem like I'm having a very, happy-go-lucky life right now, or if it may seem like I'm traveling. But that's actually just the tip of the iceberg. People don't really understand what comes with
Happens at
all
yeah.
the responsibilities. So yeah, like that's always how I face adversity. Every time there's huge challenges, I always just put it in my head that this is not the end. And ultimately, I'm always gonna learn something from everything that comes my way. And that's what makes me a better person every single day. Because, if you really analyze, being human means being a problem solver. So it's just a matter of mindset. You need to embrace that concept. You need to embrace the fact that as human beings, if life doesn't have any problems, then how would we turn out to be, right?
Yeah, that is so lovely. I love that. I love that. We do need all the trials, challenges. That's what what makes us very strong, in fact. So sabi ni Edita, thank you. Welcome, sabi ni Dexter, to inspire more people in a lot of many ways. So instead of just settling for a crown and join pageants, Fiona wanted to help more people achieve in life. Thank you. Hello, nandyan si Miss Christina. She's from Japan. Sabi ni Joey, nag-work ka po ba sa Northgate, Alabang? I hope you don't mind me asking this.
No, I didn't. I actually worked before I moved to Manila. I was working in Cebu the whole time because I'm a Cebuana, true-blooded
Yes.
Cebuana.
And
Yes.
the mga Bisaya, we always say this, mga gwapa na, anong tawag doon sa mga matatalino?
mga gwapa na, mga bright pa.
Yes, mga gwapa na, bright pa jud na. Oh, yan
Yeah.
talaga mga Cebuana. Congratulations daw, sabi ni Lorvin Sanchez. Thank you. Another one from Joey, I suppose the answer is yes. Do you give out training to those interested to become VAs?
Yes, we definitely do. So all of our employees undergo a new hire orientation program, and then later on they have the opportunity to opt into different workshops and training sessions. So it's definitely up to them what type of training they wanna attend. But at the same time, at the moment, Marites, we're actually brewing this project called Staff Virtual Academies. We already launched it earlier this year, and the objective is to have this platform that will enable all our employees to upskill, because upskilling is very important. That's really something that I always told people around me. Don't just settle with what you know. Don't settle with what you're already comfortable in. Learn, like always try to learn. That's something that I personally really also follow every day. I don't believe that there's just, there's a master in something. I believe that you have to continuously learn, try to continuously learn, and don't just settle with what you know.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
that's why we are opening Staff Virtual Careers.
Wow. And then mga kaibigan, age is just a number. So just carry on. Wherever you are, whoever you are, just carry on. So
Exactly.
Fiona, we are now, mga kaibigan, we are into the last 10 minutes of our show. What can you tell the woman that you are, that you will become 10 years from now? You're so young then.
very, very simple. Don't be too serious. I have to remind myself that sometimes, because every time I hang out with my friends or I'm around other people, some of them really think that I'm way older than my age. They think that I'm in my 30s or I'm in my 40s because of the way I talk and my mentality. And looking back, if there's one thing I would also tell my younger self is to really not take things too seriously. I am already equipped with, fortunately for me, I'm equipped with the brains that I can use to enable me further in life. I just need to kind of chill a little bit, step back a little bit sometimes, and not take life too seriously.
Yeah, it's important, no? But do you have like any vice? Like, do you drink? Do you, sabagay, it's pandemic now. Do you like go for a disco? Because you're so young. I mean, that's what I've been doing when I was younger.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
didn't. Oh my God. There was only like a very short period of time that I partied. But even my description of party is not the same as other people's description of party. It's not half of what other people do. So I really don't have a vice. My vice is probably just my hobbies. And I
Okay.
wouldn't really consider it as a vice.
Okay, so it's really like from work to home. Well, you're a growing family as well. You have a beautiful son. So I bet your hands are really tight and full with that
Yes.
aspect as well. So finally, Fiona, in terms, I know we have some people coming in and also some questions, but in mga kaibigan, you got 5 minutes. Tell us more on how you manage your business as a CEO of a very big company, how being a lady boss like you face the challenge in the global arena. So was there a time like the last year's global pandemic? You see abroad here, when we see, like, for example, in London, we're going to be seeing post something like, oh my gosh, there's no more like the COVID cases in Cebu is rising and it's
Yeah.
locked down again. How was that difficult to you? How are you managing that at that time?
It was really difficult in a way that you realize that there are consequences to your decisions. Whatever you decide as a business owner ultimately impacts the lives of hundreds of people. And in my case, it's not just 100, it's not even just 500, because the livelihoods of our employees may be helping their extended family members as well. So we may be talking thousands. So back when the pandemic started, that was really one of the challenging parts, because when if you just put it in a an essay test, in college, it's so easy to just write the answer, right? But when
Yes.
you think about the consequences to that answer, that's what makes it really difficult. It's not really just the decision that I'm making, but how that will impact the lives of all of our employees. So that was really like the biggest challenge for us. It's not just me saying, okay, we have to go work from home. Okay, let's do this, let's do that. It's not that. It's thinking, okay, but how will this affect our employees? What will happen? So that was it. And in order for me to get past it, it's really a matter of listening to how our managers think about it as well, getting the pulse of the people, understanding how our employees feel at the moment, and basing our decisions not just as business owners, but also as humans with a heart. So that's really
Yes.
important for me.
Wow, wonderful. Mga kaibigan, that is our Fiona. So Fiona, sabi dito sabi ni Carl, thank you so much for sharing. Lorvin said, congratulations, Fiona. Nakaka-proud ka, sabi ni Chris. Hello, thanks for sharing, sabi ni John. Proud classmate here. Ay, ganun pala. Hi.
He used to be my
Ayan.
classmate back in Mindanao, actually. So he
Really?
knows how I looked like back in the day. Nakakatawa.
Thank you, Christina. Nagtipon-tipon kami ngayon sa inyo na nagmamahal sa inyo from Tokyo, Japan. Hello,
Wow.
Christina and family. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, awesome, sabi ni Caroline. Maggie, thank you so much. Joey said, yes, ang ganda-ganda ng color ni Miss Fiona. So beautiful. Talagang beauty, brains, everything na. Hard work pays off. Very inspiring. Proud of you, Fiona, sabi ni Jasmine. Yeah, talagang business with a heart. Wonderful, Miss Fiona. You inspire us always. And then we have Paula here. Good day to everyone, Miss Marites and special guest Fiona. Have a great Monday. Thank you. Okay, last question from John. What advice can you share to young professionals who doesn't know what business to start?
That's a very, very interesting question. If there's one thing that I always tell people, because I did actually go to, I had some speaking gigs back before the pandemic. I went to universities such as San Carlos, and I spoke in front of the students. One thing that I always told people is to not be afraid to try something different, even if you think it's beneath you. And when I say that, it's because it's very common in the industry for people to say, oh, it's not in my job description. I don't want to do that. It's beneath me.
Yes.
Remove that mentality and try to do everything that you can, because no matter how small a task is, you will learn something from it. And number two, don't stop learning. As I said earlier, always try to learn something different. If you are able to learn something different, you are not only able to apply that in your professional career, but also in your personal life as well.
Wow, beautiful. Oh my God. Mga kaibigan, never stop learning. Just keep on going. So Fiona, if there's any last few words you want to share to everybody, how they can apply and to continue what that you had been like doing to the rest of our countrymen there in the Philippines.
Yes, please, of course, follow us, Staff Virtual Careers page. We have a lot of fun activities as well. And of course, Marites, I'd like to also say that I will be launching a podcast soon on LinkedIn. So I just added you there. I am also looking forward to have you as one of my very first guests, because it's going to focus on women in business.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Let's do
stay
that.
tuned.
So, when is the podcast coming out? Like, when is the first kickoff, or have you started already?
Yes, we're just conceptualizing it at the moment, so we're still in that stage. I'm working with Dexter for that, of course. So we will be launching this hopefully by December. That's for our
Yes.
first episode.
Wow, thank you so much. So sabi nga ni Erickson, Fiona, you truly are a phenomenal woman. Sabi ni Autumn, ang galing-galing niya. Talaga naman. Basta mga Bisaya, mga gwapa, mga bright pa. Thank you. Very inspiring. Sabi ni John. And of course, like what Fiona said, don't stop learning and keep carrying on. So mga kaibigan, thank you once again for your company. Thank you greatly to our beautiful, wonderful, very smart guest for today. Thank you to, of course, our dear friend Dexter Alasas for inviting Fiona on my behalf. And Fiona, I have learned so much from you. I adore you. I'm 53 years old. You're only 27. You're nearly half my age, and yet you've done so great. So mga kaibigan, Fiona is truly one of the Philippine heroes of what she have done to our country. So I know you're going to be growing more to thousands more of employees. I'll be on your side. I'll be behind you, clapping you from behind. So thank you once again, Fiona.
Thank you so much, Marites. Thank you so much. It's been really fun, and I was really looking forward to this. And I really, really look up to you as well for what you've done.
Thank you so much. Take care. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. So mga kaibigan, yan, ang galing-galing ng ating guest for today. So dito my God, nabulol na ako. Dito nyo lang po yan makikita sa ating Maritess Allen Fan Fortune and Feng Shui. You learn a lot from our guest. And every Monday. You just tune in to our Fun Fortune and Feng Shui. I would love you if you can share out to your friends as well. So thank you once again, and I'll see you on Wednesday for our Filipino TV Europe, and on Friday or Saturday for our Friga fashion tips. So once again, mga kaibigan, I love you all, and I'll see you soon. And don't forget to go and check out your friga.co.uk na mga pampaswerte or friga.com.ph. Thanks. Love you all.